Hey, this is Mike from D&Co Entertainment. If you're watching this video, that means you've just signed a contract with me, and I am really looking forward to working with you soon. The purpose of this video is to show you around your client portal a little bit so that you can navigate it and utilize it to your benefit. You should be sitting on a screen similar to this, watching this video right now. And this is where you can go to take care of just about anything that you need to. I've got Brittany's wedding pulled up at the moment. She still has a little ways to go before her wedding day, but I'm going to use this as an example to show you a few things. So if you have just signed your contract, that means the next step is to take care of the retainer fee. And that's what locks you in for services and makes the booking official. So you can take care of that by coming right over here under your upcoming event section and by clicking on the Make a Payment button. By doing so, that's going to bring you over to this page where you can put in your credit card or debit card info, and this is taken care of through PayPal. So you can put in the retainer fee amount, which will show here as the current balance due. And then you can click on Pay Now, and then that'll all be taken care of once again through PayPal. Super easy. Another thing that you are able to do is take a look at your event details. By clicking on that, that'll show you a summary of what we've got going on. If you see anything that's a little out of the ordinary, definitely reach out to me to let me know. But what you can see here is your event date and the times as they're listed on the contract, as well as the type of event that it is, and the address for the venue, the service that's being provided, a description of those services, and things like that. And then if you were to scroll down to the payments and finances section, once again, this is going to show you pretty much the same details that we looked at before. It's going to show how much you owe right now. It'll be reflected here in balance due. This particular package and for this particular event, the total package price is $2,000, and so it's broken up here, showing that the total fee is $2,000. This client has already made a payment for their retainer fee, and now the balance is shown right there. And if they wanted to take care of that early before it's due, or let's just say that today is the due date and they came in here to take care of this, they can just click on the Make a Payment button, and then it takes them right back to the same screen that we looked at a second ago, where you come to take care of your retainer fee. Brings you to the same page to take care of the balance when it's time to take care of that. Going back over to the home page, this is where we really get into the client portal and the majority of the features that I'd like to show you today. If you click on the Plan My Event button, it's going to bring up a few different options for you. And you can take care of this as early on as you would like. If your wedding or event is a year away and you've just signed the contract and paid your retainer fee, you can go ahead and get started with the planning process immediately if you'd like to. Or if you had signed on a little while ago and it's now coming up and it's about that time that we need to start chatting about what's going to happen and what you would like to have happen and go through the planning process together, this is where you would come to fill in all the necessary info. So first, I would like to show you the Manage Music section. These are DJ services that's being provided, so obviously music is a very important part of what it is that we do. You can click on this Add Requests button here, and this is a neat little tool that will let you list out different types of music for different categories. You can search artist names and look them up. You can search song names and look them up. If you're not too sure, you can even look at top charts. You can even click on the Spotify button and connect your Spotify account. And then if you have any playlists that are saved to Spotify, you can essentially import them into your planning tool here, so that I will see those Spotify playlists that you have been curating and using to throw ideas together as you're driving around the car or listening to music at work, and you hear something, you think, oh, I really want to have this played at my wedding. This is something I definitely want to dance to. You can throw that into your Spotify playlist, and then you can import it here. And as you are adding music, whether by looking up the artist, looking up the song, looking up charts, or by importing a Spotify playlist, you can click and drag it into different sections here. So if it's something that you want to ensure gets played at some point throughout the night, you can put it in here. If you would just like to show me a general idea of the types of music that you like and the general preferences that you're going to have as far as music is concerned, you can put it in the play if possible section. So this just means that I will look at this and use this as a guide, and if I think that it will fit well in that moment, I'll definitely play it. And if not, then I'll hang on to it and possibly play it at a later moment. Um, if you have any special dedications that you would like to make, if there is any songs that you don't necessarily like, but you feel like your guests may want them and they may ask for them, you can put it in here in the only if requested section. And just as important as all of this is the do not play section. Um, Sometimes this can even be even more important than the other sections. It's very good to know what you don't like just as much as it is to know what you do like. Um, so please make sure and fill this out as well if there's anything that you want to make sure does not get played. And it's okay to be as specific as you'd like. I have had clients in the past put songs from a particular artist in the must play section, and then that exact same artist, they'll put other songs in the do not play. So that's something that I wouldn't have been able to guess on my own if they hadn't specifically told me. Just by looking at the must play section, I would have assumed, oh, they really like this artist. They have a lot of their songs in there. But there were some of their songs in here as well, and I wouldn't have known that otherwise. So moving on from that, let's take a step back. We are going to go back to the plan my event section. Down here, you can access your planning forms and you can access the timeline. Let's take a look at the timeline first. If you click on the edit button, it'll bring up this sample timeline here. And if you already know what you would like to do and when you would like to do them, you can type in the times here in this column that you would like for these different moments to occur. And then for the activity, you can just be in this cell, come over here and click to pull it over. So this is guest arrival, and then we can type in that guests are going to be arriving at, let's say, 4:30, and the ceremony is going to begin at, let's say, 5 o'clock, and the ceremony will begin with the family procession occurring first. So then we would put that in here into this section. So play around with it. As you can see, I accidentally just filled out a couple of categories by mistake. So if you're just clicking around and if you're going a little bit too fast, it is easy to accidentally pull one of these into the wrong cell. So I encourage you to just kind of take your time with it and to just go row by row, hour by hour, that type of thing. And if you're unsure about anything, it's okay to just put it in there as a place marker. You can leave a comment saying, not sure if we want to do this or not, or this time may change. Or you can even list it out here and not include any time, but just put the activity so that I can get a sense of what it is we're going to be doing in what order, and then we can figure out what time that'll happen later on. All right, going back to the planning section. Last thing I want to show you are the planning forms. So if you click on edit to pull that up, here is where we get a bit more detailed. And so now this is going to be broken into sections. The first section is going to be for your information. This is just so that I have all the info I need in one place in case I need to access it quickly. So this is going to be your names, phone numbers, email addresses, your mailing address, social media info so that I can look you up and friend you on social media and we can connect that way. Some event info here, dress code. This is important to know. That way I come dressed appropriately, or if I'm sending a DJ out on my behalf to make sure that they are dressed appropriately. number of guests that will be in attendance, event times. If you know that the venue will only allow vendors to begin loading it at a certain time, please notate that here, and then the start and end times of the event itself. And if you know from the venue that all vendors must be out at a particular time, you can put that here. Here is where you can put the venue's Wi-Fi information. So this would be their network name and Wi-Fi password. You'll need to get this from the venue themselves. This is important because if we happen to be in an area that doesn't have very good cell coverage, or perhaps the building causes us to be in a cellular dead zone, if you have a special request or a dedication that you would like to make, and if I or the DJ doesn't already have that song, we may not be able to play it if we cannot connect to the internet and stream it. And so this is good to know for that. Venue contact info, so this is going to be the contact details for your direct link at the venue so that we can speak with them if we need to. Vendor info here, this is going to be for the other vendors on your team other than the DJ. So if you're working with a planner or a coordinator, here's where you can put down their name and number and email address. If you're going to have a photographer, same thing. You can put down their name, number, and email address, and same for the videographer. Name, phone number, and email address. We like to connect with them in advance so that we can introduce ourselves and work out any questions that they may have. This is particularly important for the videographer because the videographer will tend to tap into the DJ's sound system so they can record an audio feed right off of our equipment and our system. So we do like to touch base with the videographer beforehand. So please give us their information if you're going to be using them. And then we start getting down into the actual services that we are providing for you. So first question, what type of event are we DJing? And through this drop-down menu, you can select that this is going to be a wedding ceremony and reception, or just a wedding reception only, or something else entirely. Just so that we can cover all of the bases, I'm going to select wedding ceremony and reception because then that opens up all of the different options. If you happen to choose wedding reception or other, then that collapses some of the options and just makes it so that you have less to fill out. But we're going to take a look at just about everything now under wedding ceremonies and reception. So open that up. Are we providing uplighting? If we are, please click on yes, and then it will open up, as you can see, the uplighting section here. Are we providing a digital monogram? Let's say that we are. And are we providing a photo booth? Let's say that we are as well. Okay, so then that jumps down to the uplighting package. Please select the color that you would like to go with. If you're not too sure, just click on DJ's choice and we'll do something that works well within the space. Digital monogram package, let us know if you chose and are paying for a static monogram, which is a still digital image, or an animated one, which is animated and moving. Once you have chosen that, it is a good idea to take a moment and go to this website right here, which we'll navigate to real quickly. This is where you can come to choose your monogram. It automatically defaults to wedding monograms, as you can see here. So lots of different options to choose from, and the really great designs. They all work very well, and if you want to do something a little bit different, you can look at some of the other categories, or if you are doing an animated monogram, please click on this option and take a look through these. And once you've made your selection of what you would like to do, just make special note of the number and let me know, and then we will make sure and order this for you. Also letting us know at the same time what the lettering and what the words should be, if they're going to be initials or names. Let's say you chose this one here, it would be important for us to know which name you would like to have on top and which one on the bottom. This particular example here is Rachel and Steve. Let's say these are your names. It would be good for us to know if you would like it to say Steve or Stephen, for example. So please be as specific as possible there, and then let us know what you would like to do. We do need to have these back no less than 1 month before the event so that we can order everything in time. And the monogram text, you can type it out for us right here. And as far as where the monogram is going to be displayed, you can use this drop down to show us if you'd like it on the dance floor or a blank wall. If you're going to notate an exact location that is specific to this event location, to this venue, or if you just want us to choose. Photo booth package. This one's pretty straightforward. Where is it going to be located, inside or outside? If it is outside, it does need to be covered, so it would need to be under a tent or an awning or a cover of some sort, so that if there is any rain or direct sunlight, it's not getting on the photo booth. If you have a specific backdrop request, like you know for certain upfront that you want a particular style before you even look at the options, you can make a note of that here and we'll let you know if that's available. And then a description of where it's going to be set up. So if you know what room it's going to be set up in and you know what corner, you can say set up directly across from the bar or something like that. And then now that the add-ons are taken care of, or if you have skipped the add-ons, we get into the ceremony details if we're helping you with a wedding ceremony. Here you can tell us where it's going to be located, if the ceremony is going to be indoors, but in a separate building from the reception, or if it's all going to be in one room, and after the ceremony is over, the room is going to be flipped and turned into the reception hall, things like that. Ceremony times, this would be when the prelude music starts, which is typically 30 minutes before the guests arrive, and then the actual start time of the ceremony and what time you expect it to end. Prelude music, if you've got a particular music selection that you would like to stick with, a certain style that you want to have us follow, you can click it here if it's shown. If you have a very specific playlist that you want us to play for you, you can click on I will share a Spotify playlist and then send us the link to that so we can look at it, and then we will make sure and play that music for you. As far as microphones go, we will be providing one wireless clip-on microphone that will be put on the officiant. If you would like to have a second wireless handheld microphone to use for exchanging vows, you can let us know if you'd like to use that here. And if any more microphones are needed, let's say in this example, there will be someone coming up and doing some readings or reciting or doing anything, any speaking other than the couple themselves and the officiant, then you'd click on yes, and you can describe for us exactly what that entails, and we will set up another microphone on a stand for that person. Just let us know what the situation is so that we can be prepared. And then it comes time to the procession music. So if your wedding ceremony procession is going to begin with some family members coming out first, you can put in the name of the song and the artist that you would like them to walk down the aisle to. And if the wedding party will be coming out next, then you can put in a different song and artist for them. It is a good idea to have at least a couple of different songs depending on how long they are. If you're going to have a few family members walking out, it is a good idea to have a song specifically for them and then another song specifically for the wedding party. That way, if the song runs out, we don't have to loop it and start it over again, but we can transition into a new song when it's time for the wedding party to come out. And then after the wedding party has all come out and it's time for the final procession, whether this be the bride or one of the couple that is coming out last, then you would put in any special song that you would like for them to walk down the aisle to. And then the recession is going to be the exit music after the couple is pronounced married and everyone celebrates and applause and cheers are going on. This is when we would play the exit music. And if there's anything else you would like us to do, please specify it here. Let's say, for example, you're going to have something else occur during the ceremony other than people walking down the aisle. Something that you would like to have some background music to. Let's say you're going to have a unity candle or something like that that's going to take a moment and people are going to participate in it and you'd like background music. you can put in what type of background music you would like here, and we'll play that during the ceremony when that moment is happening. And of course, any other notes that you have for us, please fill it in here. After the ceremony is over, we kind of assume that there will be a cocktail hour. If not, you can skip this, but if so, kind of the same deal. You can tell us where it's going to be, what time it will start and end, what type of music you'd like to have for it, or if you would like to be specific and share a playlist with us, and any notes that you have for us in regards to the cocktail hour. After cocktail hour is over and everyone is getting ready for the reception, if there's going to be an introduction, this is what this whole section here is. So first you can let us know the reception start and end time, and if there's going to be a wedding party introduction where they're introduced into the reception hall, you can let us know the name of the song and the artist for them that we will play as they enter in. And if there's a specific start time, like if you want us to skip a long introduction of the song and start at the 10-second mark, let us know here. And this is going to be where you can list out the members of the wedding party as they are being introduced. If they're going to be coming out in pairs, that's how we have this broken up here. So we do first names and we do title if it is someone like a family member or the best man or maid of honor, for example. So let's say the very first pair of individuals to be introduced and to come out into the party is going to be the best man and maid of honor. So you can type here maid of honor and her name, and then best man and his name, followed by this individual and this individual, followed by this person and this person. And if there are any family members, please put that here under the title. And if it's going to be someone's sister and her name, or someone's brother, you can type that here and his name. Reason why we do first names is to create less of a mouthful, and so that it makes for a smoother introduction, and less words being spoken over the microphone is generally a good idea during the introduction, so that we can kind of engage with your guests a little bit better without them having to decipher everything that we are saying over all of the cheering and applause. It's just easier for them to hear first names only and then to go on from that point. And then when the newlyweds are coming in, you can write here what you would like to be referred to as and the song information. If there's going to be any special dances throughout the reception, such as the first dance, you can put who it is that's dancing, the song and artist, and if you only want to dance for like a minute and a half, you can put that here as the fade out time. If there's going to be any parent dances, for example, if the groom is going to dance with his mother during the reception, you can put that here, and under participants you would put the groom's name and his mom's name, and then the same song information. Oh, excuse me. And then we jump into dinner. Is there going to be a welcome speech? Yes or no? Will there be a blessing on the dinner? Yes or no? What type of dinner will it be? Buffet or served to the table? Dinner music. What type of music would you like played in the background during dinner? Or do you want to share a playlist with us and we'll play that? Are there going to be speeches and toasts? If so, what are the names of the individuals who are going to do that in the order in which you would like them to do it? And what is their title or relation to you, so that we can give them that special recognition. If this is the best man or maid of honor, or if this is your dad or uncle, or just your best friend. We want to make sure and give them that special recognition and refer to them as such. Here under the special songs and dances section is going to be just about anything else that we might do during the reception. These are popular items, like if there's a certain song that you want to have played while the cake is being cut, if you'd like to do an anniversary dance, a dollar dance, if you'll be tossing the bouquet, tossing the garter, if you have a preference for the very last song everyone dances to, or if you're going to have a private last dance, let us know what song that is going to be and who the artist is. And if there's anything missing from this list, please let us know by typing it in here. And then to wrap things up, we get into the dance party section, which typically happens towards the end of the reception, which is why it's at the bottom of the list here. Are you going to allow guest requests? Yes, all of them? Yes, only if it's within our preferences, or no. Would you like clean or explicit music played? You can say clean radio edited versions only, or you can tell us play the clean versions if possible, but if there aren't any, then play the explicit version. Or you can tell us to play the clean versions for anything that the DJ chooses to play, but if it's on the must play list, then play the explicit version, things like that. Music preferences for dancing. You can let us know different genres and different styles of music. And of course, you can always send us a note to be a little bit more specific because these are kind of general. For example, if you were to choose hip hop, but let's say you have a preference for 90s and early 2000s hip hop, definitely let us know during the planning process so that we can make sure and play that style of hip hop for you instead of something different. Especially with Latin music because it does break into so many different categories and styles. If you would like, um, cumbia or bachata or something like that, definitely let us know when we talk. That way we can be as specific as possible with the style of music that's being played. This is where you can list out must-play songs. We already looked at the music management tool where you can type in the name of the song and you can actually add it. But if you wanted to bypass that, and you could list some out here too as well. We put this in two different places just so that you can think about it, as often as you can. And it's always a good idea to come up with new ideas, even if you've already filled out the other music planning section. When you're going through the timeline and you get here, you may think of something new, and then you can just quickly type it in. So must play songs you can put here, more play if possible songs you can put in this section here, and then obviously the do not play. This section is a little bit different than the music tool that we looked at earlier, because instead of putting specific songs, you can put genres or styles. So you can type in like no line dances, no country music, no rap, and then we'll follow those instructions. And then down here at the very bottom is going to be where you can put any other notes that you would like to tell us, anything that would be important for us to know to prepare for your event, whether it be a wedding or a celebration of some other sort, or just a private party and we're just getting together to have fun. If there's anything that would be important for the DJ to know in regards to music preferences, location, where the dance floor is going to be, things like that, it's great to know. One example is I had a client speak to me recently, and they let me know that her father is prone to seizures, and so we couldn't have any lights that were too intense or strobing or flashing or anything like that. And so she put a note here, and that's something that's very important for us to know. That way we can make sure and accommodate the dance floor lighting accordingly. So that's one example of some additional notes that are important for us to know. Thanks for taking the time to look this over with us. We're looking forward to celebrating with you. And if you have any more questions about the planning forms or anything that we just looked at, please just shoot me an email or a phone call or a text, and we can even go through all of this together and I can help you fill it out. Thank you so much.